Glitch, Good Mythical Morning, Mr. Beast, Binging with Babish, Linus Tech Tips, Mark Rober, Technoblade, Coffeezilla, all channels that have millions of subscribers and views per video, all channels that have completely recontextualized the genres of entertainment they sought to contribute to. Pop quiz, which channel produced this video? Stranded on a desert island with only duct tape. If you somehow guessed it was the official Mythbusters YouTube page, you'd be correct, and I probably owe you a cookie. You may think that this was a cheap trick, and it was, but doesn't this video just feel like a YouTube video? I thought so too, so I clicked on it. But then something odd happened. I got bored. Bored of a TV show I would binge when I was younger. Bored of a show that took thousands of dollars to produce, hundreds of people to oversee, and aired on dozens, if not more, of international TV stations. Bored! 50 minutes of this? No, thank you. This staggered me. If Mythbusters was on air today, it would cost an average of $70 USD a month to watch with a TV subscription with 10 plus minutes of ads per hour-long episode. I stopped and started doing something dangerous. Thinking. When was the last time I watched TV? When was the last time I spoke to somebody who regularly watched TV? What is there to watch on TV nowadays? YouTube so thoroughly and foundationally changed how I engaged with entertainment. Today, if someone were to ask me a good place to find science documentaries, I wouldn't point them at the Discovery Channel, but to people like Z Frank or Veritasium or Nile Red. In other words, I would direct them to a person's own home-brewed work instead of a multi-million-dollar company's work, to someone's unique passion for a topic driven solely by their love for the work, which was later influenced by monetization, not the other way around. In fact, while the official Mythbusters channel ranges wildly from the low 10,000s of views to rarely in the hundreds of thousands of views, Adam Savage's personal channel consistently pulls higher poor performing and higher performing videos by comparison. Today, I want to examine all of the impacts YouTube has had on viewers and producers of media, how YouTube has even shifted how Hollywood interacts with its audience, how YouTube effectively killed the television industry as I knew it, and why I think something like it might happen again. It's helpful to look at what remains of TV, examining the things that haven't totally been replaced with the video on demand format. To me, it seems sports, news, and reruns of older shows are still mostly untouched by YouTube. But this isn't likely to be the case for long, as YouTube is seeing an influx of official producers publishing their own reruns, sports highlights, and even local news to the platform. Reruns in particular are in a unique spot because streaming services, as well as YouTube, have all but eaten up television's older but less popular IPs, or intellectual properties. If you want, say, Avatar: The Last Airbender, both YouTube and Netflix have a showing of them. For sports, the story isn't much different, albeit more exclusive to TV than reruns. And the same goes for news, especially local news. Thankfully, for TV, most local news broadcasts are free even without a subscription. I believe these genres' survival stems from TV's unique constant stream of media. There is no algorithm derailing the content to something related but adjacent to the topic of sports or news or whatever. It's still more convenient to turn on ESPN in a gym in front of the treadmills and just let it roll until the heat death of the universe, rather than try to find some playlist on YouTube. I believe the public still views television as more official than YouTube as well. Not just anyone can upload to a TV station. There is a filter of professionalism with it. It's a constant deluge of tightly related and professionally curated topics. The closest YouTube could ever get to this experience would be a channel managed by multiple people constantly adding to a playlist hourly. It's just not worth it. Not to mention, it's expected that you might see a rerun of a broadcast on TV, whereas such practices are almost criminal on YouTube. Wait, when was the last time you watched something twice? Movies maybe, songs definitely, but TV shows? YouTube videos? When was the last time I rewatched a YouTube video? Probably Worthy Kids for their incredibly charming and funny short animations, and the channel hardly ever uploads. Never anything else. What happened to reruns? We don't re-watch a gaming YouTuber's review of the latest Call of Duty game. Instead, we watch it once and we move on. At most, we might watch multiple people's opinions on a topic, or maybe a reaction to that original video, but it's never the same video the second time. Not entirely. Isn't that so odd? That less than a decade ago, I expected to watch something multiple times, and now it's a practically forbidden concept. To me, this almost bothered me. Like I'd been unconsciously trained to expect a certain behavior from media I consumed, and then like a thief in the night, suddenly it was changed. Because why should I rewatch the video? There's almost 1 million hours of content uploaded every day to YouTube. And last I checked, I'm only awake for 16 hours. Surely I can find something worthwhile that I haven't seen before. Surely there is something to watch, right? Surely I won't be scrolling my homepage for longer than it takes me to eat this meal. I think this attitude towards rerun content explains why sports and news have survived YouTube's takeover, if you could call it that. It's new every single day. Multiple people cover the same topics from different opinions. It's just YouTube. It's YouTube with more ads and a $70 price tag hosted by unrelatable people, but it's YouTube, just worse. I don't think we credit that creator to viewer relationship that YouTube provides enough. YouTube videos are typically imperfect. Editors make mistakes, people say things they maybe shouldn't, environments and props don't cooperate. As pretentious as it sounds, these elements are what make every video a form of art in a way. They aren't hyper-sterilized or optimized to the point of blandness like TV was for the past 5 decades. Of course, its rock-bottom barrier was the fuel for these flames too. Anyone with a camera and an internet connection could upload whatever they wanted, and if it was good, YouTube's algorithm would push it to more people. If it was bad, it would vanish into obscurity. But with every change in medium, every change in delivery, something has to be sacrificed. A book can't tell the same story as a movie, which can't tell the same story as a TV show, which can't tell the same story as a video game, and so on. I think one of the oddest casualties from this shift from the stream of consciousness of TV to the video on demand format of YouTube is American cartoons. Look at this schedule. Does anything odd jump out to you? Sitcoms on the same schedule as SpongeBob SquarePants. SpongeBob, a show that has been running for almost as long as I have been alive, is still dominating Nickelodeon's watch time, and it has outlived all of its competition so thoroughly that it's now being aired alongside other now equally ancient adult-focused sitcoms on a decidedly child-focused network. Cartoon Network fares not much better. Again, besides the handful of shows I have never heard before, all of the traffic of their network is intellectual properties old enough to be legally driving. I had never heard of any of these other shows, yet I still see references to the likes of Ed, Edd n Eddy, Courage the Cowardly Dog, Avatar The Last Airbender, Jimmy Neutron, and most recently, albeit still old by internet standards, The Amazing World of Gumball. I don't think it's too much of a stretch to say this nuclear war zone of geriatric television shows is a direct result of the atomic bomb that was the internet and YouTube. But despite the scorched earth, the audience that grew up loving cartoons, good cartoons, didn't suddenly vanish. Neither did any other genre. Indeed, what YouTube doesn't destroy, it conquers and adapts. Besides anime, YouTube is the best source to find high-quality animated shows. I already mentioned The Amazing Digital Circus, but Hell of a Boss and Lackadaisy fit this bill too, along with dozens, possibly hundreds of other ones that I might have missed. The difference now is that unlike the deadline-driven culture of the media gone past, these shows are run by tiny groups, often with comparably shoestring budgets, but with an excess of passion. These projects have no deadline and can fit into whatever their creators want them to fit, free from the direction of producers that governed their networks of the past. Better yet, many can watch these for free with barely a quarter of the ads when compared to network television. The worry is where we go from here. What happens to works of art that drown in this sea of content? I'm reminded of Technoblade, a legend that left us too quickly. His videos are still some of the best, not just Minecraft content, but gaming content on this platform. Who will remember his story in another decade? Will we develop a way of curating and preserving his work? Will I be able to show my kids one of his videos of one of the people I grew up watching? Or will content like his go the way of network television and be lost, or worse, monetized to hell and back? Our media culture continues to regurgitate stories back into its own mouth. If it's not rerunning the same ancient IPs, it's making a remake of a remake of a remake filled with actors playing the same part held together by terrible narratives that destroyed the original vision. Why? Because it's safe and it sells. Will the machine find its way over to YouTube creators like Techno or any of these other creators that I grew up loving? Or maybe it'll be more subtle. Maybe we'll lose the ability to critique and appreciate because we chew, but we don't digest the media that we consume. Maybe because we are so comfortable with finding one of a million other hours of content to fill our time that we won't appreciate the 8 out of 10s like Mythbusters that defined a generation. Maybe we'll grow too bored, too saturated in hits of dopamine from highs from the next YouTube short. Can YouTube take away as subtly and as quickly as it gave? Hey guys, I don't do this much, but funds are really tight right now, and if you would like to help us out, please subscribe and possibly support us over on Patreon. I want to start providing behind the scenes for these videos, as well as gather feedback for our next project from Patreon. Regardless, thank you so much for your support and your viewership. Bless your faces, and deuces.